Good morning. Welcome to the Marshall County Board of Supervisors regular session, May 22nd, 2004, here at 9 a.m. in the courthouse first floor meeting room. Notice to the public, the Board of Supervisors welcomes comments from the public during the time allowed for discussion. You're requested to approach the podium, use a microphone, state your name and address for the record, and limit the time used to present your remarks in order that others may be given the opportunity to speak. The normal process on any agenda item is for the chair to read the item from the agenda. The board is given an opportunity to comment on the issue and or place a motion on the floor. An opportunity for discussion may be presented, at which time the public may participate, and a roll call vote will follow. We'll start with a roll call, please.
Heil.
Here.
Solasic.
Here.
Hibbs.
Here.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, going on to approving the agenda.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as printed.
I'll second.
We have the motion and the second. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Heil.
Yes.
Solasic.
Yes.
Hibbs.
Yes.
Number 5, Service Awards, 15 years for Maria Vargas Gonzalez, the Auditor Recorder's Office as the Assistant Auditor Recorder. Thank you, Maria.
Can we make her come up here and
Yeah,
talk?
I was gonna say, is there any news or words of wisdom you'd like to share with us?
We have the,
Where's that?
should we just hand her the,
Yeah.
it's completed, so we might as well
Yeah.
just hand it to her.
I just want to thank you guys and especially Nan for the opportunity to be the assistant auditor recorder. I really appreciate that. I like what I do, and I will try to do my best from now on.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate all the work you do. We want to be able to complete our budget process if it wasn't for your work. I mean, it's a very critical portion of your job that you do, and it's a main driver that we see. And we know it's a lot of other things you do as well, but from the board, most especially, we appreciate that. And obviously dealing with all the different claims and everything else that you do. Thank you for all that you do.
Just got a call right before the meeting, and we'll solve that later.
Money issues.
Money issues. She's so picky.
You need more money in your position? Is that what you're saying?
That too.
We can probably work something. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll work on that.
Okay,
Yes,
all right.
yes. You the best. She always knows the answer. So this is the lady that always knows the answer. So I appreciate her very much. And she still gets pulled back in the recorder duties and still knows all of that on how to record documents and knows real estate stuff. And
It takes me a little bit of time for that to come back, but it does.
so, yes.
We appreciate your
Thank
service.
you.
Oh.
Yes, thank you. 15 years. Does it seem like that?
Not really, actually.
I think it's probably. I don't know.
All right, next we have 5 years, Stacy Freiberg of the Sheriff's Office. Thank you for your 5 years dedication to the county. And is there any words that anyone from the Sheriff's
share.
Office was
Yeah.
supposed to share here?
We're kind of a hidden gem
Get
of the
up
county.
there.
Pat Wygel, administrator, but yeah, so this is actually Stacy's second stint with us. So she's actually got closer to 10 years, because she left us for a little while and decided that she missed us so much she came back.
You love us.
Thanks for coming back.
But like she said, they are the kind of the hidden gems we have, obviously with the 182 bed jail, there's a lot of, with an average of 120, 130 inmates. We have to take care of all their medical needs and dental needs and everything like that. And of course, as you know, people who are substance abuse users on the outside don't take care of themselves physically. They come to jail and now they want it fixed yesterday. And so Stacy gets bombarded with all of that. And then just trying to play detective, and find all their medical background and stuff. So, so it's a very, very demanding job, and we are very, very thankful that we have our medical department at the Sheriff's Office, and she does an absolute great job for us. So we're very, very, very proud to have her, and I hope we have her another 10 or 15 years or 20 years. Or 30.
I hope I live that long.
So, but yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much,
Thank
And
Stacy.
she also did our flu shots last
Yes.
year. She jumped in, so yes, very thankful.
All right. Well, thank you today to both Stacy and Maria for all your dedication to Marshall County, and we look forward to many more years to come with you here at the county. On to our consent agenda. Approve the claims as audited, approve claims, and authorize the auditor and recorder's office to issue payment of the same. The listing of the claims paid at this meeting and all claims paid in the current month will be published as part of the first meeting of the following month. 6B, file manure management plans. Caleb, Applegate number 69350, 1757 Underwood Avenue, Marshalltown, signed with no changes. PI 295, finisher 65971, 1670 170 Street, Clemens, signed with no changes. PI 296, finisher 65970, 1806 170 Street, Albion, signed with no changes. In PI 333, finisher 67102, 1444 148th Street, Clemens, signed with no changes. And that is the end of today's consent agenda.
I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second. I'd like to make a comment. We've been seeing a lot of problems in the country, in Iowa here, with manure spills and people maybe even trying to cover up manure issues. And I don't think that's ever been an issue here in Marshall County, so I truly appreciate these managers doing the work they do to stay within the law.
Excellent point there. Thank you, Steve. Any other questions, comments? We have the motion in the second. Roll call vote, please.
Kyle,
Yes.
Solosik,
Yes.
Hibbs,
Yes.
Number 8, secondary roads, precast, box, culvert, lost C67X64 letting. Need a motion to place on file written sealed bids received by the auditor's recorder's office and open them.
We have 2 bids.
Need a motion to
Oh, we need the motion first.
Oh, okay.
So I'll make a motion to place on file the written and sealed bids received by the auditor recorder's office for the precast box culvert lost C6 7X 64.
I'll second.
We have that motion in the second, and do we need a vote to all right, roll call, please.
Kyle,
Yes.
Solosik,
Yes.
Hibbs,
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, so we have 2. Mid-States Precast Products and Rinker Materials are the 2. I will tell you that Mid-States did not put bid on the outside of their envelope, which is always dangerous. We're going to be smarter. Paul and I decided we're going to say, please put your bid inside of an envelope next time. So we're going to
bid inside of another sealed envelope.
yeah. So
Mark it as a bid.
mark it as such, because then that'll give people a little bit more information. So, so we've got the Mid-States one. Luckily, it was Sarah, and she went bidding back in the thing, and she didn't read anything. So we have this one from Mid-States.
We have our check.
I'm looking for the check. I see no check.
There's no proposal guarantee.
Propose, it said, yeah, no. Yes, I'll let you peruse and make sure I'm not.
That's not still in the envelope. Can't read bid.
Okay. Then the next one from Rinker. Am I saying that right? Rinker?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not feeling very good about this, just so you know.
No check.
Do you want to come look at them, Mark?
No, I'm pretty good.
Because it has to be a check, right?
Yeah, certified check.
That's why we made them mail it back. So they could include their check, but they wouldn't email it.
Yeah, look, please, okay. Mhm.
I'll get a hold of both of them and tell them they need a check. Nobody else sees the bid. And we'll do it next meeting.
Okay, yeah, these will be, it will be the only two that have seen them. We're gonna put them back. The bids won't change, nobody knows what they are,
So this is still valid, both of these are still
putting
valid
them back in.
when we get a check.
I actually didn't even look at any numbers, I was just looking for that check, which he goes, they have to have a check. And I said, well, we didn't look in them when the one we opened, we just put it back in.
Well, we'll have to check to make sure that legally we can.
Yeah, see what we can do, or if we have to go out again,
Because I know we had interest from another bidder who did not turn in a bid.
because he couldn't get a check
because
fast
they couldn't
enough.
get Atlanta fast enough. They had to get it from their home office and they couldn't get the check, so they didn't turn in a bid.
Yeah,
And
so I would
if-
guess
if
we
we're
probably
gonna
need to
wait,
start over.
If we start over, then they could have the opportunity to do it. The other thing we could do is we could change the notice to bidders and allow a bid bond. The DOT always allows a bid bond with it, and the other bidder said if we would've had a bid bond, we could've just done that, but we can't get a certified check. Anyway, let's check.
Why don't you guys figure out what
Yeah.
you wanna do, and we'll get on next agenda, however you want it listed. And we'll just keep these,
If we have to redo the notice and allow a bid bond, that will be on the next meeting, and it'll be 2 meetings away before we have the next levy.
Okay. All right. Homework on that, and
Okay.
we'll find out when, what step we're doing next, and therefore no action taken at this time. And I guess
that was exciting.
we'll now move on to number 9. Marshall County Employee Health and Prescription Drug Benefit Plan and Marshall County Employee Dental Benefit Plan and Vision rates for fiscal year 2025. We have the health plan with a single at $919.20. The employee plus one, $1,474.56. Family, $1,968.62. The dental, $41.06 for the single. Employee plus one, $82.12. And family, $93.64. Our vision benefit plan, single, $8.65. The employee plus one, $15.15. And the family, $22.52.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion then to approve Marshall County Employee Health and Prescription Drug Benefit Plan and Marshall County Employee Dental Benefit Plan and vision rates for fiscal year 2025 as set above.
I'll second that.
All right, we have the motion and the second. Do we have any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Heil,
Yes.
Solosik,
Yes?
Hibbs,
Yes.
All right, number 10, Resolution 2024-21, abatement of real estate and mobile home taxes. Whereas pursuant to Chapter 445-16 Iowa Code, the county treasurer has the authority to determine when it is practical to pursue collection of property tax through tax sale or lawsuit remedies. Whereas upon making the determination, the treasurer shall provide a recommendation of abatement to the Board of Supervisors, and the board shall abate the following taxes. Real estate 501 North First Avenue, Marshalltown, parcel number 8418264021015 for the current taxes during the 2022 property tax year, totaling $203, including penalty and interest. 915 South Center Street, Marshalltown, Iowa, parcel number 8418353777013 for current taxes during the 2022 property tax year, amount of $969, including penalty and interest. 719 North 4th Avenue, Marshalltown, Iowa, parcel number 8418262770001 for delinquent tax from 2020 property tax year in the amount of $1,489, includes penalty and interest, and mobile home at 3202 South 12th Street, lot number 72, Marshalltown, Iowa. Mobile home described as a 1991 BIA VIN number 19A20011 with delinquent tax in the amount of $1,372, including penalty and interest and cost. we have a motion to approve or adopt this resolution of abatement of taxes?
I'll make a motion that we adopt resolution 2024-0021, abatement of the real estate and mobile home taxes as described.
I'll second.
All right, we have the motion and a second. Are these just the standard pre-tax sale cleanup?
Yes.
Perfect. Any questions, comments, discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Heil,
Yes.
Solosik,
Yes.
Hibbs,
Yes.
On to number 11, Resolution 2024-22, road embargo for 295th Street. Whereas the Board of Supervisors is empowered under authority section 321-473 of the Code of Iowa with respect to highways under this jurisdiction to prohibit the operation of trucks or other commercial vehicles or may impose limitations as to the weight thereof on designated highways. Whereas excessive commercial truck traffic has caused 2 miles of 295th Street to be incapable of bearing the traffic thereon without undue damages. Now, therefore, be resolved by the Marshall County Board of Supervisors that the county engineer be authorized to order 295th Street from Hart Avenue to Fairman Avenue closed to vehicles in excess of 8 tons gross weight. Be it further resolved that farm tractors, implements of husbandry, as defined in section 321.1, implements of husbandry loaded on hauling units for transporting the implements to locations for repair, fire apparatus, and road maintenance equipment are exempt from this limitation. Be it further resolved that the county engineer may grant permits of exemption upon a showing that there is need to move to market farm produce or to move any farm feeds or fuel for home heading purposes. Passed on this 22nd day of May 2024. We have motions to adopt this resolution.
I'll make a motion. We adopt resolution 2024-0022, road embargo for 295th Street as described.
I'll second.
And we have
Now we can talk about
now
it.
we have a second. Paul, what do you got for us on this embargo?
Paul Geilenfeld, County Engineer. This 2 miles of 295th Street is, and it's locally referred to as the airport road, and I don't know where the airport used to be, but there was an airport at some point. But what's going on is we've got truck traffic that's, I think, coming from Martin Marietta Quarry, and they're bringing E63 over, and you can see E63 comes into Melbourne on the east side right there. If you as you come into that T intersection, and rather than going north on Hart Avenue up to 330 and then taking the left and getting on 330, they're using it as kind of a cutoff. It saves them maybe a mile, but I don't know that it would be any quicker. I've never tried, driving it with with the load or anything, but the damage that's being done, it's been a rock hauling cutoff route for quite a while, but now there are multiple contractors in the Des Moines area that are hauling out of Martin Marietta, and it's just, this spring was really bad for it, and we can stop it this way.
Oh, I think you'd mentioned before that you rarely embargo roads.
This is the first time I've ever done it,
First time.
actually.
Yep.
Yeah, and this road was embargoed when I became the county engineer. I took the embargo off because I was looking at the road, it can handle the loads, but since I've taken the embargo off, more contractors have decided to use that route, and it's becoming just, it's very costly to maintain, it's not safe for the people that live on that road to have that kind of truck traffic out there, and, so it's become more of a cost to our department that we've got a paved route that gets them right where they need to go. So they don't need that road.
Would you expect them to be going up north of Melbourne and then coming back south again to catch?
Yeah, that's the way
290th?
if they want to stay on pavement, that's the way they would normally go, to be the shorter route.
I assume they're going to the Ferguson.
They're coming out of Martin Marietta Ferguson, and
Yeah.
and when you're going back to the Des Moines Metro, that's the 330 is the shortest.
And Ferguson's the closest place they get rock
That's
from?
what I don't understand, that there isn't another rock source that isn't a 50-mile haul, because they're really hauling that rock quite a ways for their outfit. But not my deal. But this one, and it's a major route, and it gets quite a bit of traffic on it, and it's just one of those deals where in order for this road to be improved and paved, it would require quite a bit of grading. There's some really bad snow traps on that 2 miles. It's pretty flat, but there's some places where we would have to do some grading to get it to the place where it could be paved. And there's just nothing in our short-term plan that gets that accomplished.
Is there any other further discussion or questions on this item?
Have you had communication with Martin Marietta?
No, but I will send them a copy of this as soon as you guys act.
Okay. I think we're ready to vote.
Perfect. All right, we have the motion and the second. Any further last discussion on this? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Kyle,
Yes.
Solosek.
Yes.
Hibbs,
Yes.
Great. Thank you very much. Now on to
Yeah, you can see no, but right there, that's
the public forum. Time set aside to make for the public to make comments on topics of county business other than those listed on this agenda. No action will be taken on any of these topics brought up in public forum. I know we have a report from emergency management, Kim, with all the flooding and weather activity we've had.
Kim Elder, Marshall County Emergency Management Coordinator. Yeah, a lot of activity, but we've been blessed. We didn't have some of the major damages. I know there's deaths and destruction in a lot of counties, so I don't want to definitely downplay that. So just kind of an update. The flooding seemed to be our most major impact. I did go ahead and authorize the Iowa individual assistance to open for Marshall County for those that could have been affected by flooding. Basically, the guidelines for that are posted online, but Micah is our provider for that. So those that may have been affected with damages or lost groceries because of power outages or flooding can check into that. So that's major for our residents in the county. And that covers all of our county, although you do need to present receipts of what you either had repaired or replaced, and also prove that you were in the flood zone or lost electricity. So the county and also LeGrand so far has sent in their disaster declarations, and so that opens us up for any help or other things that we may need for returning to whatever normal is anymore. Most of it's going to be working with secondary roads for seeing what their damages are and see what we're going to have to work on. But that's going to take a while before this water goes down, I'm afraid. So we'll be doing assessments as we can, especially as we can basis on the bridges and culverts and things that Paul and I have talked about. We're going to go over those after this meeting.
How many road closures do we have right now? Do you know?
I'd say the number's a lot.
I think we pretty much got all our signs out. So there's closures that are signed and there's closures that are not signed. And the Iowa River is still coming up. Hopefully it'll crest tonight.
Yeah, it looks like cresting at 19.3 about 1 o'clock in the morning. But if we get more water at the end of the week, it could go up, or if we have some storms north of us.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we definitely are seeing water impacts.
The one you see up there on that northern Marshalltown is, that's Weiss Garden, so that's not Highway 14, even though it looks dangerously close to 14. 14 is still, looks to be a solid foot away from having water on it.
Okay.
And then Prairie to the west of that image Prairie has water over the road just north of Sand Road right now, and I was there this morning, and it's still going across there pretty good. We will probably, it looks like we're forecast we'll have water on Garwin Road, right there at Weiss Garden as well. And Stanley Mill is pretty close too. Stanley Mill Road,
Is it?
west of Albion.
We're at on Stanley Mill,
West of Albion at the river.
at the river, just like right around the river,
Yeah,
that's it?
yeah.
Okay.
So it's not forecast to get to the place where it will get East Main or 14 at this point, or North Center Street.
Close, but not quite. And I know Paul and I worked together. I did some media on the radio, that kind of thing, over the last 24 hours. And then this morning I did put out what Paul had asked me to, is, like he said, there's not enough signs to go around for all these roads. But, you know, be aware of what you're driving on, even though the road bed may look good, there may be washouts underneath, you know, through culverts, around culverts, that kind of thing. So we're just trying to get that word out, that just be very aware of where this water has been running or is running. Definitely not driving through any water, because there could be no road at all underneath there. So that's probably one of our biggest concerns right now, are the roads. We just had a lot of water all at once, so a lot of basement flooding, that kind of thing, which is understandable. Still have electricity out in several places. Worked with the utilities, trying to get some of our fire departments out to help get some trees and things out of the way. Still working on that. But again, I'll be doing some assessments here after I leave. Let's see what else. Yeah, just from Tuesday morning at 8 o'clock to 8 o'clock this morning, we had 5.5 foot rise in the river. So that's fast.
How much rain?
Well, it varied throughout our county. So we had some that 4 inches, which is a lot of rain, some 11 inches. And that's in the overnight from Monday night to Tuesday morning, and then that second and third round. We kind of got surprised by that second round. That was kind of a long duration of a lot of rain. Even the Weather Service was a little surprised that that held on for a while. And then that last round, which,
Yeah.
again, we were blessed we didn't have more.
What part of the county had 11?
We had the State Center area probably had most of that. And then it kind of took over from, most of our rain was in that State Center area south of there, and then over, kind of in an L shape, over to Gilman. Those were our heaviest areas. Gilman and State Center kind of ranked up there to the highest amounts of rain. And it really varied, but those areas were pretty inundated. And you can see that by Paul and I were talking. Did you want to talk a little bit on the landslide portion of it?
Here.
We had a slide of the force slope on Old 30, right between Lafayette and Nolway, and it's a problem we've been kind of trying to prevent and try to keep it, you know, from happening further. He's going to bring the map up on where this is, but essentially this slope on the force slope, it was very, you know, it had been very dry, and it got really saturated, so then it gets really heavy, and that land just sheared off and slid down into the bottom of the ditch, and the shear point is basically right at the south edge of Old Highway 30, so we had to close that road because it's definitely in some serious peril, and we're going to see if there's some way we can repair it. Hopefully that is the failure plane that it used this time, and we can fill it with some material that is not as hydric and not as ready to move. There'll probably be some big rocks in there when we fill the hole. So
That was a little scary.
we knew that was possible, but it was just one of those deals where when it's dry and then it gets totally saturated,
Just a
it really
sponge.
gets heavy, and that weight is what causes it to go.
Yeah, and so some of those pictures you were bringing up, you know, I had never seen this. I
Never,
know you
no.
talked about it there on the Ferguson Blacktop. that was sent in, you know, by somebody on Facebook, from the Gilman Fire Department. But, you know, people that live there, so, you know, that's the thing with flash flooding, is it can come really fast and go in places that you don't expect it, and that was our biggest fear yesterday, that somebody was gonna get in it.
And
That
that's,
I'm aware of, we didn't have, you know, a bunch of people doing that.
this is receded, but it left some
Yeah.
very heavy damage to the north shoulder for quite a stretch of this road. It's gonna need a
It's
complete
like a quarter a
reconstruction
mile
of
or
the
so
shoulder.
down through there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. You know, some other areas, I mean, this kind of stuff, you know, you think, well, I can see the road on the other side, and, but the water's moving so fast, so you just don't know what's underneath there, and we saw a lot of these, and then that's
That's
a
between
place with
Laurel
a
and
bridge,
Gilman there.
right? Yeah. So, and then our, this is what, was that? Jeremiah, I couldn't remember who,
Yeah.
took a picture. It definitely looks like possible tornado there. I'll be going down there and looking. We didn't have reports of damages that went along with what a tornado would do, but we did have some damages in that area.
Is
So I'm
that,
not
is
sure.
that south of the Gilman Laurel Blacktop?
That would be directly over 14, that's looking towards Pickering.
Oh.
Or just a little south of Pickering there. And so I'm gonna be going down there to see if I can see anything that's scouring or anything out in the fields.
So that's south of Pickering.
And that
was
So down towards,
identified by the
down
news.
towards between Gilman and Laurel.
Yeah, it's
then.
looking right off of Green Castle parking lot, right?
Right, yeah, you were in the middle of Green Castle.
Oh, okay,
Looking east,
okay.
right?
I think it's west.
Is that west?
I don't know.
Okay.
If it's over 14, it'd be west.
Yeah,
I meant 146. So if it is over 14, correct, that'd be west.
Yeah, it's.
Okay, west. So we'll be going down there and looking at that. There was some possible reports down in Gilman, and then were you able to pull those pictures up from Gilman, the buildings? So most of the buildings look to be, you know, high wind type damage, but there's debris that was brought in from Jasper County. This is actually just into Jasper County. So it's a Gilman farm, but this is just over the border into Jasper County. So kind of go down there and look around. This is Patterson's farm. And so, yeah, they
on the
didn't.
county line road?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, and
Mark?
it'd be on Jasper County's side. So, yeah, but, we'll see what's going on. We'll have the weather service come out there and look and see,
What they think.
yeah, what they think. So, so far, it all looks like it's blown in one direction, but they're flying a drone this morning, so we'll see. Otherwise, I think that's it. We're just gonna keep looking, see what's going on.
I just want to add quickly, the Grimes Farm flooded from the Lynn Creek going up, and those trails are closed. A lot of our areas are underwater, and we just ask the public to please stay out of the water and away from them for safety reasons, and we'll get them cleaned up as soon as the water retreats and we're able to work in the area. But Grimes Farm trails, I would say 75% are underwater right now, and it's going to take a while for them to dry out. So we are asking people to stay off the trails.
What about Timmins Grove? Is that not usable now?
Timmins Grove, we got a camper in there that's just kind of sitting and waiting. Right now, the water is in the campground, but it is not it's not gonna get to the new shelter house or anything, so technically we're okay there. It's not completely closed. Timmins North, it's not quite to the parking lot, but it'll probably get to the parking lot. And then, our other areas, Three Bridges will be under, so really anything along the river, we ask that people don't go into. It's gonna be soft, it's gonna be muddy, and if they tear up, it just makes more work for us. So we would prefer they avoid it if possible.
Are we expecting a rise in the river from water upstream coming downstream?
Yeah, that's where we're gonna have that 19.3, that's what's predicted now, so it could
Later
go up-
tonight?
Yeah, 1 o'clock tonight is what we're looking at. So it could go up more if we, it could slightly adjust, but if we get more rain, obviously, it's gonna, just depends on how far it's going, so. Since all the state is pretty saturated now, go from one extreme to the other. And then you just had minor damage at Green Castle, correct?
Yeah, minor damage at Greencastle and Timmins, and a few trees down at Arnie, but nothing up at like Grammar or anything further north, so pretty minimal damage. Otherwise, we had a tree go down on a shelter, but we don't think it did much damage to the roof, so that was good in that way.
Okay.
Thank you.
Drought's over.
Yeah, right?
Do we as a board need to do an official action of declaring a disaster declaration?
Kim?
Never hurts.
Because I signed that declaration form yesterday, and I just didn't know if that's something that we need to do official action to have a vote.
Never hurts to mention.
I don't know.
And in disaster declarations, you don't need 24-hour notice for those meetings, correct?
I was gonna say it's an emergency.
So
And I'd say, can we just,
You can mention it and just say that it was signed.
it was signed, and I think we just add that to the minutes, that was signed, and you've got the document that you can attach.
And no objections from the other board members? Perfect.
Yeah.
Then I document that in the
Yeah,
minutes. and then-
document
and
that,
then-
that the other two are good with it, and let's, I feel really fortunate that we went over to Nevada to get a generator over there to some family, and we're lucky.
Yeah, it's,
I mean, you hate to say it like that, because we look pretty bad too, but, yeah.
any other public forum today?
Our thoughts and prayers for Greenfield.
Oh,
My
boy,
goodness, yeah.
absolutely. And several places that I've seen really leveled over by Nevada. There's there's a house right on
Farmsteads.
30, just, yeah. Mhm. If it had hit Nevada proper, and it was close.
Well, we know what it's like with what's happened in
Yes,
Marshtown,
we
6 years
do.
ago, so.
Yes, we do.
So it's, we know there's some struggles out there for folks, but it's amazing, all the people already reaching out, heading out to, Greenfield especially. I know they're really lining up out there, and they got a long road ahead of them, but, like all Iowans, we all recover, and we recover well because we work together, so, prayers to them, and if they need any outreach to Marshall County, I'm sure they will, based on the situations we've dealt with in the past, so. Any other public comment? Hearing none, on to adjournment. Next regular session is Wednesday, June 5th, 2024 at 9 a.m. here in the courthouse, first floor meeting room, 1 East Main Street. All business to be acted upon that session should be submitted to the Auditor Recorder's Office or the Board of Supervisors Office by Wednesday, May 29th, 2024 at noon. There being no further business to come before the board, meeting is adjourned at 9:38 a.m. Thank you very much.